Roasted shrimp with feta is the perfect summer dish. It's very Mediterranean. It's got feta and all kinds of Mediterranean flavors. And I love to make it in the summer because you can make it in advance and just throw it into the oven when you need it. My friend Rory Travato is coming. She owns Rory's Artisanal Creamery in Santa Barbara. She makes the most amazing ice creams. She's going to make me ice cream, and I'm going to make her lunch. So what I've been doing is I heated about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and I cooked 1½ cups of fennel, just the fennel bulb, for about 8 to 10 minutes until it's tender. I've chopped the fennel medium dice, not too big, not too small. I'm going to add a tablespoon of garlic, minced. That's about 3 cloves. Just add it right in. You want it on low temperature because you don't want the garlic to burn. What I'm doing now is making the sauce, and then I'm going to combine it with shrimp and feta. So about 1/4 cup of good dry white wine. I usually use Pinot Grigio, but whatever you have. And what that'll do is just take all the brown scrapings off the bottom of the pan and make a really good sauce. Wine, fennel, garlic, how bad can this be? Okay, now I'm going to add tomatoes. I need a 14½ ounce can of tomatoes, the whole thing, tomatoes and liquid. And they're just chopped, diced tomatoes. 2 teaspoons of tomato paste, give it really intense flavor. And some oregano. No, I usually don't use oregano fresh because it's so intense. So I need about a teaspoon of oregano. What I'm going to do is crush it in my hands, and it really releases the oils. And then a little Pernod, which is fennel-flavored liqueur, about 1 tablespoon, just a splash. And about 1 teaspoon of salt. Really bring out the fennel flavor. 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. And this is going to cook for about 10 to 15 minutes until all the flavors blend really well. Just think of these flavors with shrimp and feta. Okay, I'm gonna let that simmer away. So the key to this dish is it's got sauce on the bottom, shrimp that are roasted, and then on top is a breadcrumb mixture with lemon and parsley that gives it a really nice crunch, and then of course feta. A little feta never hurt anything. Makes it taste wonderful. So for the breadcrumb mixture, I just need a cup of breadcrumbs, and I'm just using white sandwich bread, which I keep in the freezer for times like this. Okay, that goes in the food processor. Top goes on. Instant breadcrumbs. Perfect. So I'm gonna put it in a bowl. And now I'm gonna add lots of parsley and lemon zest. It'll give it great flavor. I need 3 tablespoons of chopped parsley. Shrimp itself is actually kind of bland, so I always like to sort of bump it up with lots of great flavor. And I love Mediterranean flavors, Greek things like feta and olive oil and tomatoes. Perfect for shrimp. Okay, so 3 tablespoons of chopped parsley right in. And 1 teaspoon of lemon zest. My rasp, I love this. Just be sure you just get the outside of the rind. You just want the bright yellow part. Okay, that should be about 1 teaspoon. Just think how sharp that's going to be with the breadcrumbs and parsley. And then 2 tablespoons of olive oil. So that's great. The olive oil is going to make the breadcrumbs toast really well. Be nice and brown. Okay, let's go check and see how the sauce is doing. Oh, this looks great. Fennel is really nicely cooked. The tomatoes are reduced. And it's a great base for the shrimp. I have 1¼ pounds of shrimp, and actually I asked the seafood shop to leave the tails on, and I'll show you why, because they're going to sort of stick up. So now off the heat, I'm just going to start layering the shrimp all the way around. I just think it looks nice if all the tails are going in the same direction. It takes an extra minute to do it like this rather than dump them all on, but it just looks so much nicer. So at this point, you can actually assemble the whole thing and leave it in the refrigerator, and then just throw it in the oven just before dinner. Rory and I like the same things. I'm sure she's gonna love it. Okay, that's the shrimp. Next, the feta. I always use Greek feta. I just think it's really good quality. And I always say, don't crumble it, dice it. In this case, crumble it. Just want it to be all over in this dish, a little bit in each bite. So I'm just gonna crumble it right on top. Just think when the feta melts a little bit when it's hot. It's so good. Okay, that's the feta. Next, the breadcrumbs. So these are the breadcrumbs that have lemon zest, parsley, and olive oil in them. Just mix them up, and then just spread them all over the top of this. Now, how good is that going to be? So they're getting nice and brown and toasted. So that's one summer lunch ready to go. You can just throw it in the oven when Rory gets here. But for now, I'm going to put it in the fridge. So I've made you shrimp with feta, and it goes into the oven, 400 degrees for 15 minutes, and lunch will be ready.
Wow, that looks great.